Hey, welcome to 16-Bit Bench. Matt here, back from holiday. Got a haircut, still have a beard, can't win them all. In the office today. So before I left on holiday, we had there's a couple of car boots. Car boot season kind of started. So I went to one in Cophall, which is near Eastbourne. So 30 miles from Brighton-ish. And it's huge, it's massive car boot, thousands of people there. Starts at like 6 a.m. So, you know, there's people there at 6 a.m. jumping in people's cars and rifling through their stuff. And oh my God, nightmare. So, yeah, we didn't go that early. We went about 8. I think it was good. There were a lot of stuff there, a lot of games there as well, as you'll see in the video. Yeah, great load of stuff. I actually had some pickups, which is the first for this year. Haven't bought anything until now. So, yeah. So check the video out and I'll see you at the end. Hey, so here we are at Cophall, or Cophall, or Cophall, don't know. It was a gorgeous day when we recorded this. It must have been 25 degrees, clear blue sky, no clouds. So a brilliant day for car booting. So the way this place works is it kind of kicks off at 6 a.m. at one end of the field, and then sellers arrive and fill the field up. So we were lucky. We came in at the end of the new arrivals. So all the people that we see first had just got here. So they hadn't been picked over yet. And the scalpers and resellers had kind of, you know, disappeared for the day. So almost out of the gate, I see this guy with an Xbox and 2 power supplies. And yeah, they're priced really low. The Xbox is like 10 quid, and the power supply is.
I think I'll get this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's the right wattage for your system? Because
that's
that's a different one.
That's the Xbox. I don't know. I've got a few.
You've got to be careful, because if you look on the back of the console,
that tells you, does it?
Yeah.
This guy's super helpful. I mean, he's just telling me exactly what I need to know.
Blank there.
Yeah.
On this one,
there isn't. So it wouldn't fit. Okay.
So it might not fit. Yeah. Also on the Xbox, it usually.
Yeah, this guy's great. I mean, like,
can't see because I ain't got the reading glasses on.
Like most people are just like, how much? Oh, I want 50 quid for these Xboxes and stuff.
This should be.
But he was really into these Xboxes, and I think he repairs them or something. Like so.
Yeah, that's 16.5.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take the console with the power supply instead of the single one.
Okay.
So there you go.
So there's a tenner for the console and the power supply.
You know what, if you want, have that as well as a spare.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've got a couple I'm trying to fix up.
Yeah.
So it just gives me the other power
bits
supply.
are missing and stuff. I've got no power supplies, no hard drives, no cables.
Yeah, so straight out of the gate, really good find. You know, I've been moaning about the Xbox, and yeah, I do have about 5 or 6 on the shelf. I've got no idea what I'm doing with.
Get in there.
Like, I just haven't decided what to do with the 360s. Like, are they worth anything? Are they worth doing anything with? Is a question for the ages.
Cool. Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers.
So how about this? Yeah, for a bit of wisdom.
Tip for you: when the CD drives don't open, it's because the bands that they use
Perished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really hard to get hold of. So you know the loom bands.
Oh yeah, they're the same, are they?
Together, stretch them a little bit, they work perfect.
Cool, thanks a lot. Good tip. Cheers.
So you are top tip. If your 360 drive won't eject, you need to get some loom bands apparently. So next place, scale electrics. Yeah, I'm a sucker for scale electrics. I'm a sucker for stock cars. Even though these like 80s ones, the cars aren't very good. They're really low detail and really cheap and plasticky and stuff. I still like to have a look at them. What's that guy doing there, just standing out there? Weirdo. Always on the lookout for games. So we've got some PC games down there, PS2 game. Let's have a closer look. The Incredibles. Good movie. I assume it's a shit game. We'll never know. I've been trying with the glasses, like still in this video, I'm still not really getting the right sort of angle, and these glasses are a pain in the ass. They're cheap eBay ones. Oh, Hannah Montana. Oh, you know, more DS. I don't want to say shovelware, but that weird area of DS games that just seems to be for old people. If my if my grandmother had been a bit younger and lived a bit longer, she would have been into the DS. She had a Spectrum, an iPad and an iToy. She had a ZX Spectrum that she played Scrabble on like every day for 30 years. And that, I think that Spectrum she had to send away to be fixed as well, so it's probably in quite good condition. I don't know what's happened to it. I think my dad sold it. So yeah, if you see bags of wires, always have a rifle. You never know what you're going to find in there. Games controllers, peripherals, cables for things. If you've got a sharp eye and you know what you're looking for, yeah, these bags can be a load of a great source of stuff. What was that? Was that a tiny banjo, or was that a ping pong paddle in a box? This guy's got a load of games. Clearly, someone who resells. So I'm not too interested in the 360 games. So I went to the box of peripherals, and we've got some of those. Oh, a Mega Drive game. One single Mega Drive game. I can't see what it is. Premier Manager. Throw it back. I got quite a few of these Skylander ports as well. They came in a job lot of controllers that I bought, and yeah, there's got to be something interesting that you can be done with the Skylanders port. It's got to be just an RFID reader, right, in there. There's got to be something fun to do with that. I've got to get around to looking that up and what those are for. So you can see here loads of PS2 games, £3 each. Great price, really. Seen a lot of sport there. Down in the bottom there, you can see all the FIFAs as usual. But there are one or two good things, and if I was collecting PS2, definitely would have had a good look through there. But I'm not really doing disc games at the moment. I'm trying to look at cartridge games if there's anything I get. And really I'm focused on broken things and fixing broken things and modding things. So in the previous Trifting video, we saw 2000 AD newer issues in a charity shop, and now we've got classic issues of 2000 AD. Great comic. Really good comic. A lot of famous names got starts in there and wrote in there. Thinking Grant Morrison. Oh, that is a sexy picture of some red arrows down there. Red arrows are, if you don't know, they're an airplane display team and bellow smoke out everything. Is this guy. So this guy had boxes and boxes and boxes of games. I'll actually come back to him later as well. It's the same sort of deal. Lots of PS2, next to no cartridge games or like 16-bit games. And he was still getting stuff out when I came by. So I was hoping when I came back the second time I'd find some things. But yeah, he had a box of rubbish. And always worth looking in the box of rubbish. PS3 charge station. If there's any bags or anything in there, always check those, see what's in there. But yeah, there wasn't really anything super interesting in here. Some DDR mats, it looked like. And then we come over to the boxes of controllers, more Skylander portals, Disney Infinity stuff, all those RFID things. Yeah, so he's still getting stuff out, so I kind of wanted to come back later and just check. But yeah, we've got PS2, PS3 stuff. I mean, the guy's clearly a reseller. He clearly comes early, goes to everyone's tables and buys up anything interesting that he finds. And he had good games. Didn't see the prices. Nothing seemed to be priced, and I didn't really want to ask. I wasn't in the market for any of this stuff. There we've got some PS1 games. So going back a little bit, some Dreamcast there as well, and a GameCube. I can't really make out what any of them are. Ooh, Colin McRae Rally, eh? Oh yeah, In Cold Blood. So this is a great game. This is by Revolution. They're a British developer. They made adventure games, most famous for the Broken Sword series. But In Cold Blood was they're sort of trying to depart from that. It's sort of an action adventure game, so there's puzzles, but you also run around with a gun. Really kind of suffered from the limited PlayStation 2 the sort of 3D graphics that it had. So it had pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D overlays, you know, like Resident Evil 2 and that, but it just looked, they over-designed their character and he just looked kind of grainy, I remember. But it's a great game. If you see it, pick it up. I already have it, so I didn't get it. It's just interesting by models as well. This kind of feeds back into the slot card thing. So if you ever see anything that's 1 to 32, if you're into slot cards, you'll know that number. 1 to 32, that is one of the slot card sort of sizes. So anything 1 to 32 is always good for a slot card conversion if you want to do that. Over this table, we've got some Game Boy Color games and some DS's. Harry Potter and Scooby-Doo, and I remember seeing Scooby-Doo on Facebook Marketplace for ridiculous money. Like, it's not worth anything. It's a crap game. So you've got 2 box DS's. Let's see how much they are.
How much are you looking for
£20.
£20? All the bits in there, are they?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
I'll do 20 for a DS, mate. Even if it is boxed, it's worth a tenner. I think they're GSIs, weren't they? So yeah, they don't even have the Game Boy support. Like DS Lite, I think that's the way. DS or DS Lite. If you're looking for something, that's what you want to pick up. There's a guy on Instagram called Joe Teach who's making these things called neon Game Boy Neons or something like that, which is basically getting a broken DS Lite, removing the top screen from it and turning the bottom screen into a Game Boy, and they're super cool. And people have been doing that for a while, but this guy like makes them super fancy with lights and stuff. And I've ordered some bits, and I think I'm going to make one for myself. So I'll make a video about that. That'll be coming out, and probably when my bits arrive next week or the week after. On the top there, this is one of my favourite games ever. The Saboteur there on Xbox 360. I had it on PS3. That was by what were they called? I'm going to have to look it up. Anyway, it was by a developer who was bought by EA and then shuttered. And they did the Saboteur, and they also did Mercenaries. If you ever played the Mercenary games, they did those. Great software house. Saboteur did not perform to expectations, so EA closed them down. You can see there at the back there's Theme Park for PS1. Not a game I've ever really enjoyed, so not interested in that. And oh god, my fringe is in the way. So yeah, I can't find their name. But anyway, look at this, Red Dwarf's magazine. There's some weird, it's comics at this place, and like you don't normally see comics at British car boot sales. Just they're not really sold here. They're seen as higher value items. But yeah, people sell comics at Cophall. So if you looking for comics, there's about 4 or 5 vendors that have them. Highly recommended. Oh, furniture, a Dyson vacuum cleaner. Oh, these are cool. There's a reel-to-reel tape machine, a slide projector, and a Super 8 projector. Like, you know, super cool. Sort of 60s and 70s pieces of kit. The reel-to-reel was super tempting. I want to get hold of that really, but didn't. So there's some good PlayStation games there. Ready to Rumble. Do you remember that one? I had that on the Dreamcast with the guy with the big afro. What's that? Is that Driver? What was that? I missed that. So we're looping around again, and I thought I'd give this guy another go, see if he's got anything else out. And all these DVDs are there, we just passed them. And then we've got PlayStation 2, like just out of camera there. But yeah, he hadn't got around to getting anything good out, so... I always find this interesting, like this is something I've never really been into myself, but petrol-powered remote RC cars. Like, quite often see people at car boots selling those things. Metroid Prime Hunters demo, no thanks. Futurama on UMD, and then again, apologise for this, I just didn't realise I wasn't looking low enough with the glasses. Glasses are a pain. Anyway, there's a bag here of DS stuff, and it struck me as weird that the PSP stuff. Struck me as weird that all the games are here, but there wasn't a PSP. And you know, if you want a warning sign, this is it. Someone had come and picked this over already. They'd already been here. They'd taken the PSP and left the games, which is kind of weird. There's some good games in here. I'm not really into. I had a PSP and I have a PSP Go, and which I use for retro gaming. It's cracked. It's hacked with custom firmware. So I'm not really looking to buy PSP stuff. One thing that puzzles me, and someone pointed this out on Twitter, who is losing their PSP cases? Why are there loose games in the world? Why are there loose DS games? Why are there loose PSP games? Who is losing their boxes? What are they doing with them? Like, where are they going? If you know, please leave a comment. This is weird, right? Why would you ever see this? There's a PlayStation VR at a car boot sale. Why? Like, I'm so puzzled, I'm scratching my head. It's like, why is he selling this here? That should be on eBay. You get way more money for it. Like, no one's going to come and give him, say, the £200 or £250 that's worth. It's ridiculous. Why would you bring that? He's got a load of interesting stuff here. Like these Commando mini comic things. I had a bunch of these. I can't remember where I got them from. Me and a mate, when we were about 12, tried to sell them in the street. And if you can imagine how hard it is to find comics anywhere, imagine trying to sell comics in the street to complete strangers when you're 12. I mean, it's a very strange idea that we had, and obviously didn't work. So we've moved now to the end of the car boot where these people have been here since like 6 AM and everything's been super picked over. But what I did find in this box is a PS2 RGB cable. So that was had. And there's some loose PlayStation games in here as well. Just flicking through them, like, is there a Final Fantasy 7? Ooh, Scarface. Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, Pro Evolution Soccer, PJ Tour, Monopoly, Tekken 3. Thought about it. What's that? Tomb Raider, Tekken 3 again. I mean, there's some this Tekken 3 worth having, and loose. You could probably, get that for next to nothing. But I'm on the hunt for cartridge games. I mean, even DS games.
Excuse me. Give you 50p for this. Is that box down there? Yeah.
50p. What a bargain.
I think it's PlayStation. I'm not sure until I try and plug it in. What's that?
Do you know that? He sold a PlayStation earlier and the man didn't take any of the cables. It's like, why?
It's a good shout then. Cheers.
And if you notice, yeah. Oh, getting exhausted now. We've been at this. This car boot is huge. I'm just showing you the gaming and retro stuff. I'm not really showing you the tables and tables of knickknacks and old lady stuff and baby clothes and all that. There are probably about nearly 1,000 tables here, I'd say. It is a massive car boot. It's called the Mammoth Carboot, and it is for a reason. It's got to be one of the biggest in the whole of the south of England. There's a bigger one up in London, which I haven't been to, but yeah, this one. But again, if you really want to find the bargains, if you really want to get the things, you have to be here at the crack of dawn. You cannot be rocking up like the game chasers at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's no point. You have to get there while the sellers are queuing up to get in. And then as the sellers are unpacking their stuff, you have to be rifling in the back of their cars. And you're fighting other people. Or just have a refreshing drink. Some PC games. Corey's House for DS, more DS shovelware. I should have got that along with Hannah Montana. I think those would have made a good double pair. I think a lot of people would have been into that. A couple of Trivial Pursuits. Trivial Pursuit is a really expensive game. The reason being that there's so many outdated versions out there. Obviously the questions are massively out of date if you buy an 80s version. So to get a new version is really expensive. A really expensive game to get hold of. Thrustmaster steering wheel with pedals. Boxes and boxes of 360 games. Don't even bother looking at it. But look, down here is a flying controller. It's a USB flight controller, like a steering yoke for a plane. I thought that would be an interesting thing to get hold of. So after checking the boxes, and there's just this geezer, and he's running this table, and I get it, mate, you've been here for 4 hours, all right? It's probably getting on for 10:30 now. I've been here a while, I'm hot and annoyed, but he just gives me a load of attitude. It's like, I don't need this from you. I'm the customer. He's not even come over to, like, you know, you can see I'm in this box. He's not even come over to get off his ass or anything. It's like, all right, mate, I'll come over. I'll do your job for you.
Hi there. This is £5. Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
So yeah, I said I'd do £5, and I go in my bag and get out my change. And what do I have? £4. So I offered him 4 and he said no, and I walked away. Which I seem to have cut out the video, but there you go. But yeah, he was like, no, it's 5. Alright, it's £1. Whatever. Sad and Lonely DS Lite on a purple cushion. Should have got this really. I should have asked how much it was, but you know, it's hard to maintain. Like towards the end, you just want to go. I just want to get out of here. More 360 games. Thief, that's good. Splinter Cell, Conviction. Well, that was a good game. Is it Conviction? Yeah, the one that came after, which they changed Sam's voice to, you know, they got rid of Michael Ironside. Not such an interesting game. It just didn't hold my attention. Conviction was a very much like a very linear story. You know, you just kind of went and did the story mission, and that was it. So it held your attention more. The other one was kind of an open world thing. You flew all over doing missions all over. Saw a couple of Xboxes on the ground there. Not interested. This thing is cool. All right, it's like it's hard to explain. It's like a track that kind of is up in the air a little bit. It's off the floor, and then there's a spaceship that goes round on the track, and then you've got a gun and you shoot at the spaceship. Like, and I was like, this is cool, but the guy wanted loads of money for it. Like, it was just, I don't even know why you would bring it to a car boot sale. I'd put that stuff on eBay. You know, you're going to find collectors, people that are into it, and they're going to want to pay for it. But at a car boot sale, you're not, you know, there's no one collecting whatever that was, Skytrain or whatever. That was super weird. It's kids like this are the reason there's so many sports games in the world. Bloody Manchester United tops. So we have a quick bathroom break, get through it, and that is all of that really. So that's Cophall. Let's take a look at what I picked up. These are my pickups on the Cophall car boot. Everything on the table cost me £10.50. I've got a fully wired PS2 RGB cable with also a audio breakout, and it's got the composite video feed there for light guns, and that was 50p, so that's a pretty good find just in a random box of stuff.
All the Xbox stuff here was a tenner altogether. So I've got a 360, don't know if it works or not. No hard drive, but I do have a bunch of spare hard drives now. And this also came with the AV cable, which I can't find at the moment, but I know is in the office somewhere. And then I've got two power bricks, different volt wattages for each one. So the bigger one is the bigger power brick, obviously, and that is 16.5 amps. And then the smaller one is the obviously smaller power brick, and that gives you 12.1 amps. So they are for different models of Xbox. The plugs are not interchangeable, so the big thick cable with the grounding wire, that's for the 16 amp supply, and the light cables for the 12 amp, and they're not interchangeable between units. This one won't plug in where this one plugs in because of the difference in the plug, as you saw the guy explain to me when I picked it up. So yeah, great load of finds really, and a great start to the year. So we're only going to go to more places from here. This adds probably 4 Xboxes now. I've got in Xbox 360s. I've got in my pile of stuff to look at. So if I can return any of those to working order, that would be fantastic. So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What have you been picking up? Where have you been going? I know there's flea market season in the US is kicking off now, and the car boot season's just started in the UK now. The weather's improved, so I'm hoping loads of you guys are out there looking for things. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's 16BitBench, and thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you next time.